Dragon Ball Super just got renewed for a new season, and there have been a lot of cool new things coming out from the series as of late. A new Beerus Saga remake was announced, and we also recently saw a reimagining of Goku's Super Saiyan 4 transformation in Daima. Born as the Saiyan Kakarot, Goku was sent to Earth as a baby to destroy the planet, but became a kind-hearted defender after a severe head injury that gave him permanent amnesia. He later became a martial arts prodigy, husband to Chi-Chi, and would popularize the iconic Super Saiyan. I thought with all this new Dragon Ball hype coming out, now would be a perfect time to scale all of the live-action Gokus we had so far to see who is the strongest. If you thought there was just one live-action Goku, well, boy howdy did I think so too. For starters, what is strength?
Strength is the only thing that matters in this world.
Goku's capable of throwing ki blasts, blasting out kamehamehas, tossing spirit bombs, and we'll keep all of those in mind, but for simple comparison's sake, we're gonna evaluate all of these guys' punching power. We're going from the weakest Goku to the strongest. Then, in the end, I'll sprinkle in some key moments in Goku's life as a benchmark to show how strong all these guys are compared to the anime version. So starting off this list is... At the bottom of this list is what we first think of when someone says live-action Goku. In 2009, Justin Chatwin portrayed the Hollywood version of Goku in the movie Dragon Ball Evolution. Throughout the movie, we see him doing supernatural things like running along and keeping up with Bulma's dirt bike, jumping 20 feet in the air, dodging shots at point-blank range, and taking down Piccolo at the end of the movie. Though, one of the most impressive things he did was defend himself against Master Roshi, which the official novelization associated with the movie claimed that Roshi could move at light speed. Now, whether this was more of just an expression or an actual literal achievement, we won't know. But we do know for sure that the novelization was not talking about this scene in particular. And Roshi at this point, and in this scene at least, looked like he wasn't even trying. So we're not counting this as evidence of him moving that fast here. Observing the atmosphere of the scene, the punches are not breaking the sound barrier upon impact. So it's pretty safe to say he is moving slower than the speed of sound here. I'm not even sure this Goku has reached that point of moving that fast yet. That whole dodging bullets scene at point blank range enters that realm of, is he faster than bullets? Slowing the footage down shows that he just moved before Bulma even shot. Tracking his movements shows that these punches, had they landed, puts us at a solid number for how strong this guy can punch, nearly double what most professional boxers can do. That being said, this isn't his strongest showcase. It's actually when Mai tries to steal the Dragon Ball from him. She runs away, she tries to punch him, he's unfazed, and then he just launches her away with a single blow. I know it doesn't seem too glamorous, but this is the strongest thing we see this Goku do. I love the fact that he had to earn his iconic hairstyle. Starting off this list wasn't really too surprising. Everything that's been said about this movie has already been said, but I'm glad they made him at least somewhat powerful compared to everyone else in the movie. But this Goku has another form. Naturally following up Justin Chatwin's normal Saiyan form is his grade 8 form, Oozaru. We only really see him towards the end of the film. He jump scares Yamcha, Bulma, and the audience in this sequence. Looking at it closely, the walls of Oozaru breaks down look like stone masonry walls made of limestone, which have a pretty hefty tensile strength. Scaling Oozaru's size, we can estimate him to be roughly 100 times stronger than his human form. There are some hints as to what he's capable of in more extreme ways. Like earlier in the movie, Roshi states that Oozaru and Piccolo were responsible for destroying cities and countries. There's some really cool DBZ-styled imagery there. But we aren't really shown Oozaru doing any of this. There's like a lady that walks into frame and then fire flashes through. Piccolo throws like a energy ball and then everything explodes. Like if you take out the audio and the captions here, it looks like Piccolo just did everything himself. For all we know, Oozaru was just punching more walls down there.
Oozaru, they have a Dragon Ball. Bring it to me!
Not trying to be a Debbie Downer downplaying some of the things this Goku has done. I am trying to salvage what I could find. Apparently, there was going to be a sequel to this film that would have focused on the Saiyan saga that never got to see the light of day because of how it got panned by everyone. Kinda curious to see what it would have been like. But for now, this is all we have. Coming up at number 5 is probably the most accurate Goku on this list. In the Korean film Dragon Ball Son Goku Fights, Son Goku Wins, young actor Hyo Sung-tae plays Kid Goku as he goes on an adventure with friends in a story that follows a lot of the beats of early Dragon Ball. I love how cute this movie is. It even shows Goku looking at his anime counterpart. The movie goes out of its way to pay so much respect to the show. Though it does have its differences, this dude who I thought was supposed to be Nappa is actually Murasaki. Pilaf isn't blue and is more human looking. Hey, is that Epcot? This Goku is shown to be able to launch people more than 20 feet into the air. And he also took an axe to the head, does crazy acrobatic skills, and is immune to fall damage. They really tried to give this version everything. He can even scream so loud that fish jump out of the ocean. I'm sorry, that's a river. That's actually really innovative. I have never heard of that superpower before. Because this movie is pretty faithful to the original, we see this Goku showcase his strength in ways the anime version did. From breaking trees apart with his bare hands, to punching boulders and splitting them into parts. Using the average strength of various trees and assuming typical material of the boulder, this easily puts him in direct comparison to early episodes of Goku. He also ate bullets from Bulma. Wait, what does skipping bullets mean? Some of these subtitles don't make sense. He skipped all the bullets means a variation of dodged a bullet. Oh, never mind. He didn't eat anything. Yeah, a little disclaimer. This movie was fan translated. Apparently there's no official translation for the subtitles. An official subtitled release was never made. I don't think they were given permission to make this movie in the first place since it was unlicensed. It's free on YouTube. If you want to see a really faithful adaptation of early Dragon Ball, I think this is the closest one you're gonna get. I would recommend it just to check it out. Very, very low budget, of course, but it was made in the 90s. Also, fun fact, the actor that plays Goku was also in Squid Game. Kinda crazy, just thought that was really cool. I got to the end of the movie, and I wanted to say that I saw this fight scene, now you have to as well. Chi-Chong Chen's Goku from the Taiwanese film Dragon Ball The Magic Begins is an interesting case. From a 1,000-foot perspective, it's clear that this movie is inspired by Dragon Ball, but they did their best to make it legally distinct. In this movie, he's only referred to as Monkey Boy, and it's known to us that he is the 91st descendant of the Monkey King. In the original story, Goku was directly inspired from the deity Monkey King Wukong. So if anything, this is like Goku's 90th great-grandson. Not only that, but everyone has legally distinct names. Bulma is now named Sito, Oolong is now Pig-Headed Wizard, also the 91st descendant of the Pig Fairy, Yamcha is a bandit named Westwood, and Puar is simply a talking bird. I think the filmmakers for this were holding out hope that they could give this one a wider release, which is why they made so many trivial changes to avoid copyright claims. I mean, between this one and the Korean film, only this one can be streamed on Tubi. Check out Tubi, by the way, if you haven't already. Lots of cool free stuff on there. Both movies can be found on YouTube though, so it didn't make too much of a difference in the end as they both were not theatrically released and were both unlicensed. This Goku's showcase of strength is pretty unique. From stopping a speeding jeep to lifting a crocodile to launching his grandpa 40 feet away with his pole, this version's dealt with a lot. I'm guessing him carrying this crocodile is supposed to mimic the classic Goku hauling that big fish away from the show. Yo, this movie is wild. Also, I watched this, now you have to as well. As goofy as this looks, this punch creating a supersonic shockwave puts him almost double of the numbers the last Goku was putting up. What's really interesting though is that shockwave and this animated scene here was only shown in the HD remaster. And yes, I said HD remaster. A visual effects company went back and redid some effects for a remastered version in 2007 and added this scene in. In the original cut, they just punched each other's fists and it created a loud sonic boom-like noise. We are looking at the most up-to-date version here, so we are counting the visual representation of the sonic boom. Now some of you might be thinking, why didn't we count Justin Chatwin's shockwave punches? They were punching a bunch of shockwaves out of each other. I feel like for those, that was just their physical ki dispersing. There were shockwaves coming out of them just standing there. If it were actual sonic booms, it would look distinct from the color of their ki. So right now, this is actually the strongest Goku in a live-action film that is feature-length. The following three, well, let's talk about them. Yeah, I'm including parodies and fan film versions too. Looking at the bigger picture, the last two Gokus were technically from fan films as well, since they were never released officially or theatrically. For number 3, we have Ryan Higa's Goku from Dragon Ball Z in real life. I am an absolute big fan of his, as growing up in the early 2000s, his YouTube videos essentially dominated the platform. This parody video retells the Saiyan Saga fight between Goku and Vegeta. Most of the skit is played for laughs, but we do get a glimpse of this Goku's power when he clashes with Vegeta. The impacts of their punches causes camera lens flares to go off, implying that light is actually created from the impact and speed. Strong compression heating of the air and shock fronts begin to appear once objects move past 3 times the speed of sound. If we're to assume that the sparks flying from their fists come from the speed of their punches heating up the air around them, then this Goku would be nearly 4 times that of Chen's Goku. I like this video. It's got some charm to it. In 2021, YouTuber King Vader released a fan film called Hood Dragon Ball Super Part 2, where he himself plays Goku. It basically retells the Goku Black arc from Dragon Ball Super, but with his own twist to it. King Vader's Goku is the only one on this list to go past Super Saiyan 1. He shows different transformations throughout the video, and the special effects are the best on this list too. Goku launches Zamasu into the sky in a fit of rage against Chi-Chi's death. Assuming Zamasu flew to the average height of clouds, and the time it took to get there, it is actually not that much. I mean, I say that, but it probably feels something like this. But he does create a shockwave when he hits Zamasu in midair, and he causes lens flashes to occur similar to Higa's Goku, putting him at least in the same vein as him. I'm ranking King Vader's higher though, simply because he just has transformation abilities, and he can rapid fire ki blasts. I think it's really nice seeing the budget and tonal difference between this video, which was part 2, and the original part 1 of this series. Part 1 was definitely more a comedy sketch. It takes place mainly at a public park. But part 2 was taken much more seriously, with some pretty impressive thought put into the choreography and visual effects. There are like drone shots and dynamic camera movements. Really cool stuff. And the strongest live-action Goku so far is Ray William Johnson's version from Goku vs. Superman. This is his first and only appearance as Goku, and it's probably the most accurate-looking live-action Super Saiyan we have gotten and will probably ever get. This video was dropped by Epic Rap Battles of History. This video tackles the long-debated topic of who would win in a fight, Goku or Superman. But this has a unique spin on it in that this is simply just a rap battle, which makes it funnier putting this Goku on this list because these two do not actually physically fight each other for 99% of the video. Superman lasers him once, I think. It's only at the end of the video where they hit each other and it ends with an explosive punch. Normally what we have seen so far in super punches from the other Gokus are people flying or shockwaves flying everywhere, but in this case, it's an explosion similar to a bomb going off instead. In Dragon Ball Z, it's kind of the norm to see ki blasts colliding and causing explosions to occur due to the sheer force and energy radiating from the impact. It's speculated that these ki blasts are some form of energy like extremely high temperatures of gas and plasma, so it makes sense for explosions to occur from these kinds of things colliding into one another. But here's the thing. We don't see this Goku fire a ki blast at all. He does not even mention a Kamehameha. These two just punch so hard that they produce a bomb-like explosion just from their fists colliding into one another. There's an article by Ellen McManus about what would happen when a baseball is thrown at 90% the speed of light, and it helps explain what's going on here. The air particles around Goku and Superman's fists do not have enough time to get pushed out of the way. This causes the atoms in the air to fuse with the atoms in the baseball, or in this case, their fists, creating a fusion zone that has gamma rays and debris scattering everywhere. As it keeps going, more and more air particles around are clanked against one another and fuse, creating a huge plasma ball in the vicinity, which eventually explodes. The force required to create this amount of energy, using the same distance used to travel to the clouds similar to what we did with the last Goku, would put this Goku well above 5,000 times that of King Vader's. So that's it then. Those are all the live-action Gokus ranked. I gotta say, I am pretty surprised how many there were actually to begin with. But now let's see where they all stack up against the anime Goku. I think it goes without saying that the kid Goku from the first few episodes in the original Dragon Ball show sits right nice and cozy along with Hyo Sung-tae's iteration from the Korean movie. They basically have the same showcases in strength. From breaking down a slab of a tree stem to destroying granite boulders, I'm putting Goku from the first 2 episodes right where Hyo Sung-tae's Goku is at rank number 5. Gotta keep in mind though, this is only for Kid Goku from episodes 1 and 2 of Dragon Ball. He progressively gets stronger as the show goes on, so it's safe to say Kid Goku episode 3 and onwards, or Kid Goku as a whole, is stronger than Hyosung Tae's version. Moving on up to Teen Goku in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku has far surpassed the speed of Master Roshi and Krillin. And well past that point, those two were already moving past the speed of which normal people could perceive them fighting.
Your movements are so fast that nobody could see what happened.
Piccolo and Goku were moving at similar speeds in the 23rd Martial Arts Tournament. This puts Teen Goku at the end of the original Dragon Ball 5 times stronger than Ryan Higa's and Dominique Barrett's Goku. Fast forwarding to when Goku turns into a Super Saiyan for the first time, Goku punches Frieza's giant death ball on planet Namek. He punches it into another planet, and it only took 16 seconds to get there. Assuming planet Namek has planets similar in distance to those in our galaxy relative to Earth, then Goku at this time would have had to been at least a quadrillion times stronger than Ray William Johnson's Goku. Honestly, Ray William Johnson's version does a pretty honorable job representing this power, even given the strength gap. I also just think he looks really cool. When he unlocks the ability to transform into a Super Saiyan God, Goku fought tooth and nail to keep Earth safe from Beerus' destruction. Their fighting eventually led to them punching each other's fists, sending shockwaves across the universe. Factoring in the different planes of this universe like Heaven and Hell, in Dragon Ball Super, their universe is roughly 1,500 times bigger than our observable universe. Creating earthquake-like shakes across space like this would require a force so large that it has 51 zeros to be tagged onto there. I know there are other forms of Goku out there. Super Saiyan 4 is my personal favorite, but by far this is probably Goku's strongest punch that can be analyzed in this way. Ultra Instinct is considerably stronger than Super Saiyan God. He shakes the void of emptiness with just his aura, but I can't really count anything there because it's not a punch. I feel like you could just lump all the other forms in here as well. Super Saiyan 4, Blue, Ultra Instinct. Because even a strength factor of 1,000 barely makes the numbers look that impressive or different anymore. Having one form be 1,000 times stronger or 1,000 times weaker, looking at the numbers on the screen, it doesn't really look that different, even though it is. Your eyes just kind of start to glaze over the difference. Anything above Super Saiyan 1, or actually Super Saiyan 1 included, is way far beyond above what we've seen in live action. These guys at the top here aren't ordered in any specific order, they're just here to show that they're far above everyone below them. For fun, I thought it'd be cool to give a percentage to each live-action Goku compared to Super Saiyan God Goku. Are any of them 50% of his power? 10%? 1%? Well, I was able to solve this pretty quickly because the answer is no. When you round the numbers, everyone is 0% of Super Saiyan God Goku's power. I may have missed some live-action Gokus here and there. I know there was a pretty nice short video by K&K Productions, but there was not really enough material to go off of to add their version on this list. And then there was a Dragon Ball project the YouTube channel Ismahawk was making for a while ago. I was really looking forward to it, but when I reached out to Danny from the channel on Instagram back in 2020, he said that they kept running into issues and could not justify the intense amount of visual effects for the project, so they decided to scrap it. I bet it would have been lovely. They made a pretty good Nightwing series. Let me know which live-action Goku was your favorite, and what Dragon Ball related project are you most looking forward to. Anyways guys, that's it from me. For more of my videos, just click right here.